Well, hey guys, I know I get the question all the time, well, what do the areas actually look like in Charlotte? Like, what does it look like driving around Charlotte when you're there? So, today in this video, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of background on Charlotte in general, on the transit, on the traffic, on the roads, what to expect, because this is not Cali, this is not New York, and we certainly don't drive like Floridians, but I do want to show you guys what's going on. Warning, this video is driving around on the road, so if you get motion sickness, I urge you to possibly not watch this video. It sounds odd for me to tell you to not watch a video, but I'm just forewarning you because sometimes I can't handle that. So, to any of my viewers, if you're not a fan of watching things driving in the car, go ahead and skip it or just fast forward the parts that you don't want to see. But I welcome you to watch. We're going to talk all about the different roads in Charlotte, what to expect, what you're going to see, and what it really looks like when you're going from area to area. So stay tuned if you can. If not, I understand. Check out some of my other videos. So if you're looking for everything Charlotte, I'm talking the good, the bad, the ugly, everything in between, you have come to the right channel. So be sure to like, subscribe, and if you want to be up to date on everything happening when it's happening, make sure to hit that little dongle right there. That little one, little bell. Yeah, we're gonna notify you every time a new video comes out. So I get calls, texts, emails, you name it. No smoke signals as of yet from people just like you who are moving to the Charlotte area. So if that is you, be sure to give me a call, a text, an email, and I'm going to make sure that you have a move that you've always dreamed of, whether it's 9 days or 90 days across town or across the country. So reach out and I will help you make it happen. So let's talk about commutes. Now, as of right now, I am heading from the north side of Charlotte. I'm talking the north side of the Belt Loop, where I-77, I'll put a little map up here, where I-77 intersects 485. Now, I'm going to give you a little sampling of what this looks like. So let's take a look at the roads out here. So as of right now, I am driving down I-77, just coming underneath Harris Boulevard. And what you're going to notice is we have a lot of trees. So I'm going to come to the front here, give you a better vantage point here. This is what it looks like going down I-77. And for any of you that are worried, yes, I do have all of my securities on my car, and I'm in the slow lane, so I am safe, don't worry. But what you're gonna notice is there is a ton of trees, and the highway is very open. Now, at the time of this being filmed, it is lunchtime, but honestly, even during rush hour, it looks pretty much the same. So what can you expect from your commute if you're coming from North Charlotte anywhere above 45? Well, you're gonna hit a little bit of traffic on I-77, but here's the cool thing. There is a toll lane, which you probably saw in the video I just showed. There is a toll lane that does change the amount depending upon the time of day. So more traffic means a higher toll. Yes, they're gonna get you some which way. But one thing that you can expect is the fact that toll lanes are super efficient, meaning you don't have to just jump on and ride it all the way into town. Instead, you can jump on and hop off when the traffic stops. I didn't think I would use it as much as I do, but it is super helpful. So where does this traffic buildup usually happen? Well, on the northern stretch of I-77, you're usually going to see the backup between Samfur Road, sometimes a little bit further north than that, but definitely between Samfur Road and Gilead is usually a little bit of a backup, and then it opens up. Further north from that, you're going to find it on Jeton all the way up to where it crosses over the lake. So a lot of that stretch is going to be full of traffic. But here's the difference from other areas of the country. The traffic moves. That's right. So while you're riding, the traffic is actually going to move. You're not going to be sitting still for hours at a time. That's not going to happen. The cool thing is you can decide if you want to, you can jump onto a toll lane and start driving. So you can avoid all of the traffic for a few dollars. Yes, we do easy passes. That is a thing, but if you don't have an easy pass, you can still use the toll lane. We don't have physical tolls where you have to stop and wait for the little arm to go up. Instead, it's just going to take a picture of your license plate, or if you have the easy pass, it's going to scan it, and then you're good to go. So as you can see, there's one of the toll lanes right there. It tells you a little bit about what the tolls are going to be as you're coming through it. And right now I am Charlotte in front of us. So I'm gonna go ahead and film this. Now, yes, there's a bunch of sound barriers around here. There is residential areas all around and off of I-77, but you're also gonna see that toll lane to the left. So right here is an entry onto that toll lane. The next exit from that toll lane is actually gonna be closer into Charlotte, which we're gonna see here in just a second. So another thing to note about this is a 3-lane highway with 2 toll lanes. This is gonna give you plenty of ability to get through traffic. So, right off of this, we're nearing I-85. I-85 is another main vein through Charlotte. Now, while it looks like it passes east-west, I-85 is technically a north-south interstate, which you will note by the fact that it's an odd number. If you didn't know this, even interstates are going to be east-west. Odd interstate numbers are going to be north-south. So this is one of the main exits here. It's going to take you to I-85, or you can head straight through I-77, which is what we're on right now. Now, over that way, on the left, you're going to see that toll lane go up, and here we are going to follow this right into the city. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this right after we see the crest of Charlotte, and boom, there she is, folks. That is Charlotte, North Carolina. How gorgeous is that? All right, as we get a little further in the city, I'm going to show you a little bit more. So why do I like the roads and the interstates in Charlotte? Well, I grew up in New York, as you guys know, and one of the biggest pains in the butt being in a major city is traffic, just getting anywhere. I hate sitting in traffic. One of the things that I love about Charlotte, especially the northern part of Charlotte, and you guys have heard me say this before, Huntersville and North Charlotte are my favorite places, which is why I live up there. And I travel down and visit other areas of Charlotte, but I love the northern areas because there's so many options for getting where you need to go. So you have I-85, I-77, 485, and on the northern side of 77 are the toll lanes. The challenge with the southern stretch of I-77, there's no toll lanes, which means you might be sitting in traffic, as most people do, because it does come down to just a 3-lane instead of a 4, and there's no toll lane. So the southern portion of I-77, just as it passes over west is a street, by the way, is going to be traffic ridden, which is a bummer. All right, you guys, I have just taken the exit, and now I am on the beautiful stretch of 277. Now, 277 circles Charlotte. As you can see, there's our beautiful downtown right there. 277 circles Charlotte, North Carolina, and I love this road. Now, can there be traffic? Yes. But what you will notice is it flanks I-77. So you can jump on the northern side or the southern side. There's a great view of the city right there. Gosh, I love this city. If you guys don't move here, at least come visit, because we have, I think, one of the most beautiful skylines I've ever seen. So what do you need to know about 277? Well, 277 goes all the way around Charlotte, and there's multiple stops in Noda, Plaza, Midwood, Elizabeth, Dilworth, South End. It touches all of them. So if you need to get somewhere that's close to downtown Charlotte, this is exactly what you're going to take. And yes, they are working on the roads. Now, from 277, we are going to now take another major thoroughfare called Independence. Independence Boulevard is also known as 74. It goes all the way through Gastonia, down through Charlotte, and all the way out to Monroe. Now, Monroe is a really cool spot. I'm going to be doing a video about that here soon. Why do I like Independence? Well, honestly, I don't. Yes, that's right. I don't like Independence Boulevard because it's always got traffic. But what I do like is it does have multiple lanes, and it was much, much worse many years ago. See, we used to have actual intersections where you had roads that came to stoplights on this road, which when you see this in a moment, you're going to understand why I hated that. The traffic was so bad, avoid it like the plague. However, in recent years, because they put overpasses for every single intersecting road into Independence, it's truly become a highway. Check this out. So this is Independence Boulevard. To my left over here, that is Plaza Midwood. So Plaza Midwood actually is right off of Independence. And as we're coming up here, on my right is still a little bit of Plaza Midwood, but it's also Elizabeth, which is where we are headed today. So Independence Boulevard Boulevard does have a nice flow. Now, while the speed limit is 55, good luck finding anybody that's actually going to go the speed limit. If you're not doing at least 65 miles an hour, people will be passing you. Like, no kidding. So Independence, as you can also see, even though it's smack dab in the city, we have a ton of trees, which is just absolutely gorgeous. So that's one of the reasons why I also love Charlotte, and driving in Charlotte, you're surrounded with trees. You saw that, whether it's I-85 or I-77, heck, even 277, there's always going to be trees, which is really cool. Now, coming up also on Independence is the Bojangles Coliseum, which we're gonna pass in just a minute. So I'm gonna show you that. So that's the Bojangles Coliseum. Fun fact about the Bojangles Coliseum and about Independence Boulevard. Independence Boulevard was actually supposed to be the main strip in Charlotte. And in fact, if you take Independence Boulevard down to where there's the Walmart, the Bojangles Coliseum, Bojangles was actually going to be the centerpiece, just like we have right now. We have other stadiums in Charlotte. It was actually going to be the centerpiece of Charlotte, North Carolina, meaning Independence Boulevard was going to be the main vein where all of the skyscrapers were going to be built. However, what ended up happening was a little bit to the northeast, things started to grow a lot faster, and that actually became the hub of Charlotte. It was also determined that I-77 and the intersection of that was going to be a lot better when it came to production and the actual economy for Charlotte. So Independence Boulevard became a little bit forgotten. And in fact, if you were here probably 10 or 12 years ago, you would have seen the more run-down nature of Independence Boulevard. Now, at this point in time, the Bojangles Coliseum is still rocking. We have a lot of events that come through, not only traveling events such as the circus and things of that nature, which, by the way, not a huge fan of the circus unless they don't use live animals. I'm just gonna put that out there. But they do come through, and Cirque du Soleil, things of that nature. But we also have a hockey team that plays in the Bojangles Coliseum. Now, for a while there, they were playing downtown. They have moved back to their home. The Checkers are back in the Bojangles Coliseum, which is pretty cool. And we've also got some basketball that plays here, which is pretty neat. So personally, I love the Bojangles Coliseum. It kind of feels like back in the 1980s because it hasn't been completely updated, but there's plenty of fun things that happen there, and it's kind of cool to know the history of what it was supposed to be. So when you travel down Independence, keep that in mind. So what would you have seen if we kept on Independence Boulevard? A ton of car dealerships. Yes, it's kind of become the motor mile here in Charlotte, and most of that's because it's a high speed, I'm just calling it high speed, 55 miles an hour to 60, unless you have a lead foot, that's more. But it's a pretty high speed road, which means there aren't many stores off of it. So as you're riding down there, you're gonna find there are strip malls and such off of Independence, but you're not gonna be able to turn right off onto the road into, you know, say a restaurant or things like that. That's very rare. In addition to that, there is a vegan-friendly hotel just up from the Bojangles Coliseum, and a really great vegan place, which is pretty cool. I like it. I think it's great. It's called Vegan Bean, I want to say. It's quite tasty. I've never had a quesadilla without cheese in it, but they make a pretty darn good one, and it's made of cashews. So anyway, let's continue on. I'm going to take you guys into Elizabeth and show you what that looks like as we're driving around. Just giving you guys another view as we are going away from the Bojangles Coliseum. You can see the beautiful city of Charlotte coming over those trees right there. All right, so we're headed towards Elizabeth. That is our goal destination. And what you're gonna notice is things start to change a little bit while we're on the road. Now, the road that I'm coming up to right now, all the roads in Charlotte have been around for a while, but it's called Monroe Road. And you're gonna notice it's got a little bit of an older flair to it mixed with a little bit of new. Let me give you a sampling. So as you can see, still some older stores, kind of an older, more city feel. But all in all, a lot of it has started to be regentrified and changed. And we're so close to the city, for all my northerners, we do have Dunkin'. And I'm gonna show you a little bit more of this road in a second. So this will give you a little bit of an idea right now as to where we are headed. So here's another view of Monroe Road. By the way, Lupe's Cafe, fabulous food. So as you come around here, again, older portion of Charlotte. We're headed right towards downtown right now. The skyline is just behind those trees. to the right and left of us is all housing, but you're going to get a bunch of this starting to happen. Lots of new construction. This is both townhouses, regular houses, large, small, you name it. But if you look over here, there are still cute little duplexes and things of that nature. So keep that in mind as you are coming through Charlotte. There's a huge mix of things. Now, as we round out here, we're going to come up here and take a left and head over to this adorable little neighborhood I want to share with you. So right now we are in Elizabeth, and it is just so gosh darn beautiful. I love the houses in here. Here, I'll give you guys a better view. So you've got small houses, big houses, redone houses, old houses, you name it, this area has it. Again, to give you an idea, definitely a spot you're going to be out walking your kids, playing with them on the street. It's just so pretty. I absolutely love it. So Elizabeth is one of the oldest neighborhoods in Charlotte. It is literally right outside of downtown. The homes are absolutely magnificent. Now, the price points are going to follow that, right? So, yeah, in many cases, you're still above $700,000 even for a small house. And it depends upon what kind of house you have. Is it updated or does it need some work? Obviously, if it needs some work, it's going to be a little bit less, but the price points are definitely going to match. So, like you can see over here, lots of new construction coming in. Those are all townhouses. Personally, I don't think they really match the area very well because Elizabeth is just very green and lush and older homes and, you know, nice big lots. But you know what? People have to go somewhere, and as long as they need a place to stay, people are going to find it. So we are coming up on the next little spot in here. We're going to cross over Randolph Road, one of the other major intersections or roads in Charlotte. I'm going to show you what that looks like. So just as an example, we also have homes like this. This is right off Randolph Road. Look at that gorgeous house. Now, there are multiple homes in there. I believe it's 2 homes. But yeah, just absolutely beautiful. So we're going to go take a look at Randolph Road here in a second. Or should I say, this is Randolph Road. We're going to cross it here in just a second. So now we're in an area with much larger homes. So this is, I think it's still a beautiful area. We've got some magnificent homes up on the hill here. Some construction going on, but most of it is just older properties. So if we look across the street, you'll get a better idea. How gorgeous is this? So we are now headed down Randolph Road. I figured I'd show you guys what this looks like. So over to that side is a hospital. Zoom out a little bit. So to the left is the hospital, and straight ahead we are headed right into downtown Charlotte, which is really cool. So again, trees are everywhere. We are in a very city area, and there's trees all over the place. That is all hospital complex. Novant Health is a huge epicenter here in Charlotte. So everywhere around us, you're going to see Novant, and more Novant. So as you can see, more Novant Health. But you can also see here lots more trees. So right now, as we come into this clearing, you're going to see downtown Charlotte skyline start to creep up. We are in the heart of Charlotte right now, and half the time it doesn't even feel like it. I think that's one of the things I love most about Charlotte. You've got all the conveniences of a city that you would want, but you also feel like you are in the country or in a nice lower population area because of the way that the city's been designed. So this is one of the main veins of Charlotte on Randolph Road. We're coming past right now. There's University to the right. By the way, that's our local community college. And then here we come, right down into downtown Charlotte. Everything kind of comes together, and you would drive right through downtown. So I am going to take you a little bit into downtown and just show you a little bit, but before we do that, actually, you know what? No, I'm not. I'm going to take you on the other side of 277 and complete our mission of driving around a circle around the city. So there you have it. But let's talk a little bit about Elizabeth. So we just left Elizabeth, and as you can see, not only is an absolutely beautiful community, but you feel like you are not even, you feel like you're way outside of the city is what it feels like, because there's so many trees, the houses are set back, even the apartment complexes are there. It's not like they went in and clear cut everything and just built. So I think that's what I love most about it. So we're coming around the lower side. Let me show you. So this is the lower section of 277. This would be your view coming through here. How pretty is this? To our left is South End area. All right, so all down in there is going to be South End. Coming up ahead of us, this next overpass is the light rail. So that right there is the light rail overpass that heads right into South End. This connects from the north all the way to the south. And then ahead of us is going to be I-77, which we are going to intersect once again, showing you on a map real quick. This is that 277 loop, and we are coming up on the south side of the loop. Also over here, our Panthers Stadium. Gotta love our Panthers. So you guys, that concludes our city tour, headed from north side of Charlotte into Elizabeth and downtown. I hope you get a little better sense of what it really looks like when you are driving around town here, because it's like nothing else. And until you see it, you don't quite understand it. So I've said it once, I'll say it again, whether you are moving in 9 days or 90 days across town, which means you understand this video, or across the country, which hopefully you now understand Charlotte a little bit more, give me a call, text, email. I am here to help you make your move everything you want it to be. So until next time, I look forward to showing you around town.